Tito, how you doing, mate?
All right, how's it going?
Was that your attempt at an English accent?
It's just Amber. Like, all right.
It's good, mate. So obviously, I want to jump on with you, find out exactly how you're doing. Obviously, you've been on the team for a little while now. First of
Yeah.
all, for anyone watching this who isn't on the team, doesn't know you at all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh, I'm Tito. I've been working. I was in the army, so my fitness there was getting okay. Done that for about 8, 9 years, and then left to go and work on boats. The problem working on private yachts and things is you're extremely busy, and you got an opportunity to work out, but it's limited, so it's really easy to make up excuses. And then everything you sort of gained from in the past, you lose it just like that because you're like, oh, I won't go to the gym today because I'm so busy. Next thing you know, 3 weeks have passed and you're like, oh, okay, right, I'm going to start again tomorrow. And then you just never ever bother. And then I just felt like I was sort of sitting there and maybe training once every week, but just going for the sake of going just to make myself feel better. Um, and then I got 2 months off work. For just they gave me 2 months because I'm great. And I thought to myself, right, this 2 months, there's no excuse because I'm right next to the gym. But I knew I've got 2 months off. I thought I was going to hit the beer, get the takeaways in, and get really fat. I thought I need to start training because I got quite skinny, and I was like, I want to go back to work instead of being sort of fat and bloated and feeling horrible. I want to go back, and people will be like, "Oh my God, what have you been doing your 2 months off?" So that's why I came to yourself.
Boom. Yeah, no, happy days. So basically, it was you were in a routine, but like training once a week, which is, I think, even more difficult to stay on top of than not training because you're putting a little bit of work in, but you're never going to see any results from once a week. So
Yeah,
you're like, I'm going to the gym, not seeing any change in the mirror, and you start having this like bad association with the gym. Like it doesn't get you where you want to be.
yeah. I found as well, like going once a week is like everybody wants to train chest and arms and like be big like that. So instead of like concentrating on certain elements of it, it was like you were going in and doing like a full body thing for a week, quickly doing a couple of bicep curls, and then looking in the mirror and being like, oh, why is my arms not getting bigger? And then, but you're also doing little bit of shoulders and then a little bit of chest. For that one day, I was just doing a little bit of everything and expecting one big result, which
Yeah, yeah.
never comes.
Yeah, well, that's spreading yourself like really, really thin. Like nothing's getting the attention it needs. Everything's just getting a little bit, and probably not in the right way. So you were stuck, like being skinny, wanted to pack on size, but that you knew if you didn't do anything differently, you just get fat on your 2 months off because you wouldn't do
Oh,
anything, and you just smash loads of food.
yeah, it's just the excuses because it's too easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Or, oh well, I'll just get up and I'll go a walk to the shop. And the next thing I know, I've bought beer. And it's like, well, I'll have a beer and I'll drink today, and then I'll do the gym tomorrow. And like I say, time passes so quick if you just sit there like that. And I thought, may as well go to. Plus, I live like 2 minutes from the gym, so I've got no excuse. But I still would have made up these excuses in
No,
my head.
yeah, it happened. It's well because you work away. It's kind of like the army, right? Like obviously you've been in the
Mm-hmm.
army. It's like R&R. Like because you've been
Yeah,
working like fuck all day every day, and now you're on leave. It's the same thing as what you're doing now, right? You've been working non-stop on the boat. Now you're on leave. That's easy to justify not doing anything. Like that's
yeah,
so easy. Like you're not going to be like, oh, I feel lazy. Your head will just say, no, you've just been working flat out for months. Take it
yeah.
easy, and then you'll feel great, and you'll order a pizza.
Yeah, that's it. Because even on the boat, when we're working, because we'll work flat out. So that's when you work flat out, and we're running up and down the boat and like lifting some jet skis and stuff. So stuff's quite heavy. So you're not getting fat 'cause it's like cardio, and you're sort of naturally through work. The fitness is sort of there, but that gives you the excuse that, oh well, I've done, and people do it on their phones. So like, oh, I've done 10,000 steps today or 16,000 steps, so I won't bother going to the gym. And I got myself into that mindset, and it sounds really stupid, and I don't understand the steps on the phone. But I was like, oh, I've done 12,000 steps running around the boat all day. Right, I'm going to sit and have a beer. Well done, me for walking, basically. And it
Yeah.
put myself
How old are
in
you?
mindset. Sorry,
How old are you?
31 now.
31 and giving yourself a pat on the back for walking.
I know. That's why it's like, especially now we're what, week 7. Like looking back at it, it's like, why was I thinking, oh, 12,000 steps? And I've never ever believed in the steps before on your phone. But because everybody in the boat does it, I just sort of followed like a sheep. I was like, oh, you you've done 12,000. We're so bad. Right, give me that beer.
No, that's an amazing point. Like, because you do, like humans, we just love being part of something. So, because everyone else was doing it, you were doing it, and that is,
Uh,
and I say this all the time. Like, obviously, you're on the team now. You're part of the Sleeve-Filler system, and how insane! I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell me about being part of the community.
Yeah, when it started, because I'd never sort of done anything like that, and then it was, but you were on about posting wins all the time, and I was thinking, oh, does this really, like, will it really work? But then, remember, like the first like sort of week, because I just moved into this house, so I was like unpacking the furniture and that, and I'd see guys who like go to the gym in the morning, and they'd be like, oh, good win this morning, start off with a workout. And it sort of helped me, because I was thinking, oh, I wish I'd got my workout in. And I was building furniture, and that's the time I would have been like, no, right, well done. I've built the furniture. I've done 600 steps throughout the house all day. Well done, me. Let's have a beer. But because I'm seeing these guys, they're all like, yes, I smashed a new personal best already, or oh, I've done this training, oh, I'm feeling good. I said, I want to feel like that. And so instead of being a sheep and like the people you see around about you and about the town who've not quite got that mindset, it was good because it made me be like, I want to feel like that. I want to have a win today. I want to go to the gym. And then so get me up, I'll go to the gym, come back, I'll feel good, and keep building some furniture, like keep setting up the house, and like just keep going forward the whole time.
Yeah, just keeping momentum, getting a win, carrying on with it. No, it's good, mate. It's perfect. That's the kind of purpose of it. That's why I built it, because you're right. You look around and see what other people are doing, and you kind of feel inclined to go that way. It's why successful guys you hear all the time, like in business and stuff, they always say, and like self-growth stuff, they say, surround yourself with people that have what you want. And like people will say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's a popular one, right? And it's true, because whoever you're surrounded by, it's going to have a huge influence on you. If you hang around with losers, you're going to be a loser, right? That's if you're in a community with guys that are just obsessed with winning, and also because you know that they're in the same position as you, like these are all naturally skinny guys that maybe don't have the best confidence, all this stuff, and then you see them like, well, you've seen the post in the group, like guys bumping into their ex at the gym, and like they're
that was a great one. I didn't stop laughing at that. I was like, I felt like I know, and it wasn't even my ex, and he bumped in, and she was like, "Oh, you're looking good." I thought, yes, go on. That's so good.
Oh, mate, yeah, I was pumped to read it. And then you see other stuff, like guys like going into work and like people they haven't seen in like a few months are saying like, wow, have you been on the steroids? Like, what's happened to you? Or like just guys that saying like, oh, I went around without my top on and I felt amazing. I never would have done that. And you just think like, if those guys are getting wins, then I should be getting wins. So I'm just going to carry on. And you know that they're following the same system you're following. So it's easy. You can't make up excuses like, oh, they're doing something, like they're doing this and that. You know exactly what they're doing. You just know you have to do the same fucking thing, right?
Yeah, it's good because when you're watching them, like I said, they're getting all the wins, and well, I'm getting them too, but you're sitting looking, and they're sort of driving you to do it. So it gets you up, and it's like, I want some of that. I'm wanting what they're having, and it does. It just sort of improves everything drastically.
Big time. So obviously the training is 10 weeks long. You're in week 7 right now. Tell me, every change has happened. Just tell me, physically, mentally, what's changed in your life right now?
Yeah, well, I'll start off with the biggest one that I've noticed, which I think I posted in the group a couple of weeks ago, was like a new training and sticking to the diet plan. I knew, and especially the other guys posting the wins, that you start to see a change physically. But what I never realized was like the change mentally and the like relationships and things. Because usually when I come home, then I'd go on a bender and I was like, not go mental because I'm not an alcoholic, but like, you go away for work for 5 months at a time, you come home, you see the boys, it's always an excuse to drink. And then always by the time I go away again or meet people, I'm always feeling a bit like rubbish and crap. But what I've noticed is like a change in almost our personal relationships with family, where like I'm not my children's mum anymore. So my relationship with her has completely changed as well, just because I always feel like clearer in the head, a lot more confident. So all my personal relationships, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed. That I didn't really expect coming into a program where it's sort of put on size, put on muscle, and then noticing the different areas of your life, getting all the wins from that. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed, because I just never expected it all. And everybody around keeps saying, "Oh, you seem a lot more happier. Like you seem a lot more like not like alert, because I was never sort of not alert before, but I'm trying to think how to word it. It's sort of obviously when you're drunk and then you're hungover the next day and you're sort of groggy and you're feeling like rubbish. Like now, every morning it's like 7 o'clock this morning. I was up. I was like, "Oh, right, what we're going to do today?" I was like, "What am I going to do? How can I get myself better in 2 hours' time?" So that's one of the biggest things I've took away was one of the weeks you were on about. You could just sit and watch TV, but if you sit there and think, right, how can Tito be better in 2 hours' time? Because it's 8 o'clock right now, and 10 o'clock's coming around whether I like it or not. I could still be sitting on this sofa at 10 o'clock, have achieved nothing, just feeling lazy and be like, I've got off to a poor start to the day and just make up all the excuses to sit here. But now it's like, well, if I start tidying the house, something little like that, it's like, oh, that's a little win. And then, oh, I'm going to go and visit my grandmother. Oh, right, that's done. Next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock, and instead of sitting watching Pokemon on TV for 2 hours, I've actually,
man.
it's like I've tidied the house, I went to visit family, and then you feel like, oh, I feel good, right? Oh, I'm going to go to the gym next. And then you go to the gym, and then you come back and eat. And that's what I've noticed. Obviously, physically, I'm feeling a bit better, feeling stronger. But to me, in my head, it's just, I've never expected that at all.
Amazing. No, it's good, mate. That's exactly it. I love that that future you state, right? Where you just think it's coming around whether I like it or not. It's 10 o'clock. Where do I want to be at 12 o'clock? Huge thing. And it just gets you obsessed with stacking wins. That's what it's all about. You're just like, shit, in 2 hours, I could, because a lot of people would think, right, in a normal state, they think, well, in 2 hours, I can just feel really relaxed and happy because I've relaxed for 2 hours. But that doesn't even cross your mind, because that's not what you want. You want to achieve and win and progress and just have relentless control over every area. So you were like, well, in 2 hours, I want to be stronger, bigger, like move forward in my life that tiny amount that I can in 2 hours. I need it, which is a huge thing. So that's mental. And physically, mate, so let's get real specific with physically. Through the stages, like what did you notice first, and then what have you noticed like as you've gone on?
I noticed first, I never noticed much physical change myself, because you see yourself in the mirror every day. So I never noticed that much change. I felt stronger. Like, and then so when I was lifting, I was noting down, I was starting to notice like little increases each time when I was doing, like, if I was doing sort of bench press or curls, I was noticing little increases each time. And then it's not until you start going about when you're visiting family and visiting friends, and they're like, oh, you're looking, what I got called last week, I got called beefy, and I thought it was fat. I was like, what? And I got told, oh, Tito, you're looking beefy, and the guy was grabbing my arm. So I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, your arms are filling that shirt out. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, beefy's a bit of a weird compliment, but I thought I'll take it as a win.
Beefy's good, mate. Beefy's good. No, that's the biggest thing, is people always notice it, like especially around Christmas time when they're seeing people they haven't seen in a while. They'll be like, shit, or even like you said, you see yourself every day in the mirror, so you might not notice. And someone compared this to me. They said something interesting. They were like, well, you never notice your mum getting older when you're a kid. And I was like, shit, right, 'cause you see it every single day. And you know, when they said that, I thought about it because, and you'll be able to relate to this, when you go away, like obviously with the army, when I was in Afghan, I came back after 7 months being away, I saw my mum, and she literally looked like an old lady to me, and I was like, what? Like, it was really weird. But it's the same sort of thing with your physique, right? If you got rid of all the mirrors in your house, like obviously you need the mirrors, because otherwise you're going to terrify the people on board the boat. You need to look smart in that. But if you did get rid of them, then you're going to notice hugely, like next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you put the mirrors in, you'll be like, shit, because you see yourself all the time, you don't. But that's why it's nice to see people you haven't seen in like a month, and they're going to be honest with you, especially like when you've got military friends. They're going to be brutally honest. They'll tell you,
they are
like they're going to be brutal honesty. So yeah, I think having people there to, like, even though you're doing it for you, having people there to let you know how far you've come is mega useful, right?
Yeah, because like you said about the military, every time I was on leave in the army, you know, even if it's for like 2 weeks, I'd come back and somebody would pat me in the belly, and I'm like, oh, you had a good leave, didn't you? It makes you feel crap about yourself, and you don't really notice it. You feel unhealthy, but you don't notice, even in 2 weeks, how much weight you can put on if you just go like on a bit of an RR and just drink and eat rubbish.
Yeah, definitely. You never see it, but no, it's good to see it. And then you also notice it when you look at photos. Like for me, that was a big one. Like I had the same as you. Like I kind of put everything into practice, and I was trying to aggressively gain size. And then I kind of didn't think that I'd progressed, but it was when I looked at a picture that was from only like 2 months ago, and I was like, nah. I was like, shit. And I was trying to like recreate the picture from the same angle because I thought it must be something about the angle or something that made me look smaller. But it was just a big change that I honestly, I'd have probably put money on the fact that I hadn't really changed that much. I'd have put money on it. I was so sure. But I looked at this picture and I was like, Jesus. And you see it in the group, right? You see it, guys posted about how, they're well, obviously there's a couple of other army guys military guys in there who are saying like, yeah, the guys are noticing when I'm seeing them have to leave, or like they're saying these things to me, and it's making me realize, shit, yeah, actually I've grown like a lot.
That's how I'm looking forward to being off work since 30th of December, and I go back 28th of February. And that's what I'm sort of looking forward to. I'm looking forward to gauging their reaction. Because again, I get it from people around about here like, oh, you're looking a bit bigger. But these guys have lived and worked with for like 2 years, most of them. And this is the longest I've spent apart from them, so 2 months. So they know what I look like. And then when I come back, I'm intrigued to see what they think.
Yeah, man.
So it kind of makes it, usually before you go back to work, you're dreading it. No, I've just had 2 months off and I don't want to go back. This is rubbish. But this time I'm kind of thinking, I want to go back and just walk about and be like, hey.
Yeah, man, definitely. Because you want to see, obviously, the comments you get from your physical state and like what they say about your mental state. Because like you said, people notice those things. They notice like, oh, your demeanor's changed. Like you seem more, people said to me, like you seem more in control. And that like encompassed like discipline, confidence, because I just was like doing what I know I needed to do. I had like routine and structure. So yeah, it's nice to hear both. But before I let you go and enjoy your leave, just any message you've got for guys out there that are naturally skinny, struggling to pack on size and muscle, and just don't feel like they're dominating their life.
Yeah, especially, I'm trying to think how to word this one again. It's hard to think because I always thought it'd be quite hard work, like what's going to happen 2 hours time, like you're saying, like doing all these little things to achieve the little wins. I always thought it was going to be hard work, but once you join a group like this and you've got guys that are like-minded and are sort of, you can see their wins and you feel like you're sort of pushing yourself for them as well, then it just starts coming naturally. It's like next thing, it's like you get up in the morning, you want to start doing these little things. You start being more motivated for the day. Like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And by the end of the day, you feel like you've achieved a lot. Then another thing is when you join a thing like this and you see everybody's wins, and it is good, but it's still hard. You've still got to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the results. So you can just join this group and sort of follow the eating plan and just half-ass your training. If you do that, you're not going to see any results. You see everybody else getting results. So if you're not, it just means you're not putting in the work and you've got to try harder.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. It's cause and effect. And I say this all the time. There's no magic. Like guys will say to me all the time, like, I don't know, just in passing, oh, what do I need to do then? And I'll just be like, well, if I could like quickly tell you in 2 minutes what you need to do, it's not going to be very good advice. Like it's a full system. It's every single day doing these actions, doing these things. Like I can happily paint you the roadmap, but you have to follow it. You have to do it consistently. And it's not just doing it for a week. Like you need to be disciplined, motivated. You've got to do it consistently. But that's why, and you probably noticed, so much emphasis throughout the 10 weeks is on mindset. Like we set you up with the perfect training cycle, nutrition, everything immediately. But then, it's about dominating your discipline, consistency, motivation. You probably, and as you said, you've noticed the big mindset shift, and that's probably down to that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's it. You've got to be consistent with it, because you see the pictures, especially you put online of you about 10, 11 years ago when you first joined the army to you now. And a lot of people think, oh, I want that. And oh, if I join this program and 5 weeks later, I expect to see the changes that you've done. And people have got to realize that you've done it consistently for years. And that's why you've got to do it consistently. And then you'll build yourself up to that. If you join it to think it's an overnight thing, and you're going to be massive, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be huge, then that's a completely wrong mindset. Like nothing works overnight. That's how you've got to go and dominate every single day.
Yeah, definitely. It's about doing the right thing that sees results as fast as possible, but understanding that you're not going to wake up tomorrow and be a monster. You're going to wake up in 2 weeks' time and understand that you're on the right mission because you see physical changes, but there's no start and stop. Like if you're thinking, right, I want to do this for 10 weeks and then stop and I'll keep all the results I've got. No. Or even that I want to like maintain. People say I want to drop to just maintenance. Continuous growth is the only way. You got to get bigger, and you can get a lot bigger in a month and then 2 months, but not an end state. Like that's not where you sit and maintain and settle. You need to just keep growing and keep building and sort of set your mindset and your routine up so that you never want to fail. Like you always just want to keep pushing on, keep achieving. And that's why I talk so much about stacking wins, right? Because you need to be obsessed with just winning all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stacking wins, it builds up your confidence, and then you start feeling a lot more confident in life. And then especially, well, and I said yesterday when I had the wins with the PB, and then I started feeling like animals because I was getting better with deadlift. And I was like, I feel like an animal. And I thought, I'm going to walk home from the gym, kick in the door, and give the missus the good news. An update on that. I didn't give her the good news because she just laughed at me, but I was walking about my top off feeling like a beast anyway, so at least that was a win.
Oh, mate, that's funny. Well, I mega appreciate you jumping on with me. Obviously, well, we've got our live coaching tonight, so I'll probably see you there at 5:30. But yeah, appreciate you chatting on with me, mate. I hope you enjoy the rest of your leave, and I'll speak to you soon, mate, all right?
Yeah, I'll speak to you in a bit, pal.
Take care, mate.
Bye.